Hello everyone. I want to welcome you back for another episode of Kathy's Creole Kitchen. Today we're going to be making apple blackberry pie. But the first step is to make the crust because it's going to have a double crust. So I'm going to give you the ingredients for the double crust. This is 2.5 cups of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/3 to 2/3 cups of cold water. So I just put the 2/3 in there, and 2 sticks of butter. So that makes a cup of butter. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add the flour because I pre-measured it, the 2.5 cups. Then we're going to put the cold butter because you want the butter not melted cold because you're going to make a coarse texture for the crust. So put that there. Get this unwrapped. And I have a dough hook on my mixer, so I'm going to do it with a dough hook. I'm going to take the easy way out, put the 1/2 teaspoon of salt, attach the hook, and we're just going to blend this until we can get the butter blended in there. So I would suggest you put on a very low speed so we can try to combine the butter. So I'm going to do that because that's going to take a couple of minutes, and then I'll get right back to you. Okay, so the mixture is coarse and crumbly, and now I'm going to start adding the water a little bit at a time. And remember, this is cold water. So we're going to put a little, and I'm going to inch up the speed on it. And we're just going to keep adding until it starts to stick together. Just blend it until it starts to stick together. So let's just see. See, I have a slow pour. I'm doing a slow pour. So far it's taken a little bit less than a fourth. So it's sticking together now. I'm just going to add a little bit more. Yeah, it's sticking together. So the safe bet to say is to measure your 2/3 cups of water. Okay, now it's sticking together now. So let's take it out, and I'm going to let you see it because we're going to separate it into 2 balls, and we're going to put it in the refrigerator because it's very sticky right now. See how it looks? And you can feel the butter in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dust a little flour on it like so, just to make sure it's got enough on it. And then I'm going to separate it into 2 balls. So one ball is going to be for one pie crust and the other ball is for the other pie crust because we need 2 pie crusts for this apple blackberry pie. We are going to have to do the bottom crust and then the top lattice crust. And the top lattice crust is we're going to cut it into 1-inch strips. So you see that? I'm going to wrap it in saran wrap. Let me wash my hands off. I'm going to wrap it in saran wrap, and then I am going to put it in the refrigerator, and we'll get started on the filling. So let me get this situated in the refrigerator, and then I'll get back to you and we'll start on the filling. Okay, so I'm back. I don't remember if I welcomed you to Kathy's Creole Kitchen, but I surely did. But I'm welcoming you back to pie. So this is the ingredients for the mixture that I'm going to, the filling, the apples and the blackberries. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to give you all the ingredients. 1/2 cup of butter, tablespoon of flour, 1 teaspoon lemon juice, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of water, 6 ounces of blackberries halved, and about half, I mean, we just cut them in half. I used the kitchen scissors. And then I have approximately 6 cups of cored, sliced, peeled apples. And I mix the apples. Some are Granny Smith and some are Honeycrisp. So I probably have 6 small Granny Smith and 2 medium Honeycrisp apples. But the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put this butter in the saucepan. We're gonna put it on the fire and we're gonna melt it. And once we get it melted, we are going to add this, excuse me, tablespoon of flour because we're gonna make a little paste. And after we make a paste, we're gonna whisk in the sugar and the water, the lemon juice into the butter mixture. Then we're gonna bring it to simmer until it's thick, 3 to 4 minutes. And then we're gonna stir in the blackberries, 6 blackberry halves. And we're gonna reduce the heat to low and let it just simmer. And then we're gonna spread out, excuse me, the pie crust because I made that dough earlier. So I had to put it in the refrigerator. So let's get this melted. And see how it's doing. Getting it melted. Let's get a spoon here and move it around so you guys, because it has to get melted up. So I'm gonna let it melt, and then I'm gonna add the tablespoon of flour, and I'll let you see how it looks before I add anything else. Okay, so I have the butter melted, and I'm gonna add the flour. So I just pour the flour in there, and we're gonna stir it up and make a little paste out of it, just like so. And I have it on kind of a low fire because I don't want to burn it. And stir it up because this will thicken up for the pie ingredients. You want the pie running out. So we're going to do that. Okay, let me give my little trusty rusty notes so I don't miss anything for you guys. Good enough. It's not really a paste, it's more kind of bubbly, frothy looking. So that's good enough. Take it a little more. Yeah, it's turning into a paste because it's getting to the bottom of the pan. So that's good. We just want to do it like that. So now we're going to add the sugars. We're going to whisk in the sugars. Brown sugar and the regular sugar. Everything I use is organic and unbleached and all that. So I'm gonna get that in there. I'm gonna stir that around in there with it. Just like so. And we're gonna add the water and the lemon juice. Lemon juice, 1 teaspoon. Water. Some bumps out of it. So there we go. We're going to let it simmer on a little medium low temperature for about 3 to 4 minutes. That's going to melt the sugar. And so I'll get back with you when I'm ready to add the blackberries. Okay, so I turned the fire down. I got it on a very low fire, and I'm going to add 6 blackberry halves. So that's a total of 3 whole blackberries. So there we go, we've got that in there. I'm going to stir it up. And so we're going to put it on a low fire, and we're going to let it simmer. We're just going to let it simmer there. Let's push this to the side, push this, and now, let me wipe off the counter again, like so. Make sure it's all nice and neat. And we're going to spread some flour because I'm getting ready to roll out the dough. Let's just roll that all on, and I'm going to go and get the dough, and then we're going to start rolling. Okay, so I got one of the balls of dough. Well, I got them both out. So I got one ball for the bottom crust. So just gonna mash it down a little bit. And we're just gonna roll it out. We gotta roll it big enough to cover this pan right here. I have a deep dish pan because I just prefer deep dish pies. You get more ooey gooey goodness out of it. So I'm gonna roll this out, and when I get it rolled out, I'm gonna fit it in the pan and show you. Okay, I have the mixture still simmering over here. A little sugar and berry, and now I'm going to try to put this crust inside the pan. I have sprayed the pan with Pam to keep it from sticking, and then I just kind of wiped it out with a paper towel a little bit so it wouldn't be too greasy. So let's see if I can get this off this counter easily without tearing it up. Well, maybe. Yep. Okay, that looks pretty good. So let's get it in the pan. Smooth it all out in there. Yep. Looking good, looking good. Let's shift it around a little bit, stretch it. Okay. That's looking good. All righty. There we go. Okay. Wonderful. So we got that in there. And in addition to the little pan inside the pan, the pie plate, we're going to prick a few little holes because I don't want the crust to bubble up on us. So that's all you do there. Fit it in like so. Scoot it down if you have to. Like I say, you don't want any problems. So with the apples I have, the roughly 6 cups of apples, I'm gonna add a ½ cup of sugar to that mixture. Because I made a pie one time, and let me tell you, my mom did not like it because she said it was too tart. It wasn't sweet enough. So in addition to the little syrup that I made, I'm gonna roll this around in here, and let's see, we're going to add the berries in with that, like so. And we're just gonna kind of mix it all up, like so. This just makes me want to eat it like this. I know that's terrible. So I'm gonna pour the berries in and the apples. That's a perfect ratio right there for that pie crust. And we're going to just scoot it all around in there like so. I want every little bite to have just a couple of berries in it like so. Yep, that's looking good. That looks delicious already. Before it even hits the oven. So let's get the rest of the sugar out here. I don't want my mom to tell me how it's not appetizing because it's not sweet enough, you know? She's very picky. So I still have to roll out. We're gonna set that to the side because I still have to roll out the lattice part. And I'm gonna show you how to do that. So let's get that dough there. Let's get this dough here, and I'll get back to you once I got it all rolled out. Okay, I've got the second ball of dough rolled out, and now I'm going to cut it into strips, and we're gonna put it on the pie. So let's get some strips cut. Roughly, they're supposed to be 1-inch strips. So I'm not the straightest line person, but I'm gonna do the best that I can. Gonna get them done like so. And just so you know what I'm doing, I'm gonna put the pie right here so you can see it. And I'm going to get a strip of dough and just put it across. We're gonna do a lattice work on it. Then we'll get a different piece and put it across the middle like so. We're just gonna weave it in and out because that's what you do. So let me get this done and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so here are the results of the lattice work on the pie. Hope you can see it really well. So now this little mixture that we have had simmering, take a look at the color. It's like a beautiful brown candied. And all we're gonna do is just drizzle it over the top, just like so. We're gonna let all that ooey gooey goodness go in there. The berries and everything, we want it to just ooze down in there, just like so. All around the edge. You want it to go down in there, into the pie, just like so. Make sure it gets all down in there, just like that. Looks yummy, right? So we're gonna get every little bit of it out of here. And we're gonna pour it over the pie, just like so. So there you have it. Now the oven has been preheating on 425 degrees. I am going to put it in there for 15 minutes. We're going to cook it for 15 minutes on 425 degrees. And then after 15 minutes, we're going to lower the temperature to 350 and cook it for a total time of about 45 minutes. So 35 more minutes on the 350 degrees. So let's get it into the oven. Looks delicious, right? Yum. I have a cookie sheet in here so that if it oozes over, everything will be okay. So I have it in there. We're gonna set the timer for 15 minutes because it's on that 450 degree. So let's let it cook for 15 minutes. Then after 15 minutes, we're gonna lower the temperature to 350 and cook it for like 35 more minutes until the crust is golden brown. So I'll see you when that's done. Okay, everyone, I've had the pie in the oven for an additional 37 minutes. So I'm gonna take it out now. I probably need two things to hold it because it's pretty hot. Let me get it out of here. Put it on the cooling rack, let you see how it looks. It's very, very hot, bubbling up. It's gonna take a while to cool down before I can cut it and show it to you, but it came out pretty beautiful to me. So we're just gonna let it cool off and then we'll cut it a little later. I think I'm gonna give it 20, 30 minutes to cool because it's really, really hot. So let's let it cool off and then I'll cut it and show you the insides.